Hi everybody. So Ina and I are fortunate enough to ride our bikes from home. There's my beautiful wife. And this is the beautiful forest that we get to ride to. There's our bikes.
Sometimes you get bugs and bugs in your teeth and your eyes. That's what I have right now. I'm like, hope there's no bugs. Yeah.
But like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. Legends and lore. Get closer to the picture.
19th century wagon tracks and peg holes are etched on the landscape. After Mexico claimed its independence from Spain, Mission San Juan Capistrano lost its land holdings. The distribution of land grants began in earnest in 1842. Juan Avila, San Juan Capistrano's Justice of the Peace, was granted more than 13,000 acres that were later called Rancho Miguel. Aliso Wood and Canyons Wilderness Park lies within the rancho's boundaries. Avila's cattle once grazed where trails cross the land today. The land reveals other stories as well. After the gold rush began, Mormon leader Brigham Young set his sights on California, hoping to establish a route from San Diego to Utah, as well as create Mormon farming communities along the way. A Mormon trading post became established within the park boundaries. Near Alwalt Trail, wagon tracks are permanently worn into the sandstone. In 1856, 1857, Juan Flores and his outlaw gang, legendary stagecoach and livestock thieves, left their mark here as well. They used Dripping Cave, Robert's Cave, as a hideout. Holes drilled into the cave ceiling once anchored pegs that held gear and likely saddlebags filled with stolen coins.
That bird's a little mad at us.
I don't think that the hawk picks it. So then, the myth of the ceiling stain, contrary to legends, Dripping Cave ceiling is not discolored by smudge marks from the campfires of the Flores gang. Rather, the discoloring is caused by ferns and moss that take advantage of water that seeps in from above. Land grants meant private ownership of Orange County land. So we live here in this area. And these are all the different ranchos that used to be owned by Mexican Americans, or Mexicans, I should say. Juan Flores, and then of course the peg hole from Dripping Cave.
And I will walk over and show you a real pig hole.
I guess we learned that the Mormons beat the JWs to it. Bastards. Okay. Part of the Dripping Cave. Other part. There's one of the holes
those are
right
the peg
there.
holes. Those are so neat. I always get a kick out of it.
Another one right there.
Wow, look at that. That's just so fun, fascinating.
After stealing from the Wells Fargo coaches. That's fine. Wells Fargo would end up stealing from all of us 150 years later. Back when I left the organization, the only things out there were, there was a website online called Beacon for Former Jehovah's Witnesses. That's where I read all of Watchtower's old literature and realized that they were just lying to us, not new light. They were just rewriting history. And so I learned that there was a cult. And then a few years go by, in 1995, well, in 95, YouTube was already out. But in like 2001, 2002, there were some former Jehovah's Witnesses who were now Christians who were talking about how the Watchtower Society was teaching the Bible wrong and they weren't the truth. And that's how, you know, and every time a former Jehovah's Witness YouTube video came on, you would want to watch it right away, right? Because they were so few and far between. Well, over the years, the JW YouTube videos have evolved from just, you know, former Jehovah's Witnesses, now Christians, talking about how the Watchtower Society has it wrong and their new religion has it right, to more things like cult awareness and why, well, they're all wrong. And like I was saying before, you know, science, history, the invention of God by man, and then you have Christopher Hitchens, Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, Daniel Dennett, and then watching their videos where they didn't say Jehovah's Witnesses at all, but what they said about mainstream religions and the psychology that mainstream religions use, you just put two and two together, and Jehovah's Witnesses do exactly the same thing. So now all of these videos, former Jehovah's Witness videos, talking about how the organization is the same as the Mormon Church, Seventh-day Adventists, how science debunks it all, science debunks the Bible, and you got people like Lloyd Evans and JT and Lady C. It's just, it's a plethora of information and knowledge that is just so exciting. But anyway, those things help me to really explain things to Ina, to plant those seeds that she couldn't unhear. And eventually, that along with everything that kept building up in her head, even things that I didn't know about, like the injustices that she saw in the organization, how people were treated. So all of that conspired to help get Ina out of the organization finally. So here we are. But, yeah, so cool. I just wanted to talk about how things really evolved and helped out. And it's helping a lot of people too, because every week we're finding, look, a brand new ExJW YouTube video. And I'm sure that there's very few relatively ExJWs that do YouTube videos. So probably, you know, for every ExJW YouTuber we see, there's probably 1,000 or 2,000 ExJWs that don't do YouTube videos.
Yeah.
But those YouTube videos really help to open their eyes.
And it also helps, everybody's gravitates to certain individuals. I remember at circuit assemblies and district conventions and it was few and far between when you would get somebody who would actually explain something in their own words without an outline. That would be very rare. So, but I did meet a sister in the Lake Forest congregation that was allowed to do that. And those real type of experiences always help me. And so the same with YouTube videos, when you see other families or other couples going through the same thing you're going through, all the different feelings, the loneliness, the anger, the frustration, all of that really did help me, because when you hear somebody who says something heartfelt, then you can kind of tell. I mean, you can see whether or not they're being sincere, and you can hear it. So that is what helped me to gravitate, maybe not so much to a Lloyd Evans, but it helped me gravitate to somebody like Susan Gaskin. She explained some of the things that she had gone through. And then when you see someone sick, you know, a lot of times this gets you into a state where your body goes through trauma because your mind is going through trauma. And so I think Amber Scora helped a lot too, because her book explained some of the loneliness that she would feel and the sadness that was compounded when her friends and family would no longer have anything to do with her. Her husband divorced her. So that's kind of what seemed to help me a lot, along with literature. I really had to go with literature, though, that didn't have very much to do with ExJWs or apostate at all. So Frederick Douglass, Ping Fu. So those individuals that were real people that wrote books helped me a lot.
Yeah.
So
let's go.
Yeah.
All right.
I hope you enjoy our little bike ride and what we shared with you, because it's fun here. This is how me and my husband ended up really dating each other. We did a lot of mountain bike riding, and it brought us a lot together. And
29 years ago.
Yeah, so we used to do this a lot. It was quiet. It was an opportunity to get to know each other. And believe it or not, I am quiet. So I do.
What?
I did enjoy those quiet bike rides and getting to know my husband.
Yep. No
Without-
better way to date.
Yeah. So
Cool.
anyway,
All right, we better get home before
happy
dark.
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's
And you'll
Day,
get to
yes.
see
It is May 9th.
Ellie. She had her birthday yesterday.
Yeah, we threw a
We'll
little
put that
birthday.
up on video so you can enjoy it with us.
Yeah,
So happy Mother's Day, all you
Happy
mothers
Mother's
out there.
Day.
Bye.
Find your bliss. Be good humans.
Follow your bliss.
Follow your bliss.
And be good
good
humans.
We can still sing.
If we don't sing now, the next time we go to a restaurant, which is going to be pretty soon.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Okay. Where's it? Everybody here?
Is everybody here?
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Good.
Is we missing anybody?
No? Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Happy birthday to you.
No smiling.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Ellie. Happy birthday to you. Speech! Speech!